What determines how much money a business makes? This is day 3 of our First Principles Business series. Let us waste no time here. So, up to this point, we have established the fact that all companies are transformation systems. Companies take economic resources, and via their productive processes, they transform these resources into valued outputs. Now, these valued outputs are going to be bought by customers, and when a valued output is bought by a customer, we call this value capture. Okay, the company has essentially captured some of the value that it has created. Now, in order to create value, companies have to consume value. Okay, resources are going to be consumed within a company's productive process. So, if we take the amount of value captured by a company, and if we subtract the resources consumed within the company's productive process, we're going to be left with what's termed the economic surplus. Okay. Now, the topic of this video is what determines the size of that surplus, okay? And more importantly, how do we make this surplus bigger? Okay, that's a primary concern of mine. That's a primary concern of a lot of companies in today's age. Now, there are only two fundamental levers that a company has at its disposal to essentially improve the economics of the business, okay? To increase its economic surplus. The company can either capture more value from its customer or it can improve resource consumption, okay? It can consume resources more efficiently, okay? These are the only two levers at a company's disposal to essentially improve the economics of the business, okay? And this brings us to a very foundational business principle. A business improves by improving the relationship between what it captures and what it consumes, okay? At a very fundamental level, this is the only way a company improves. This is the only way a company improves its economics, I'll say. Companies want to capture more than they consume, okay? That's pretty obvious, but just want to set some principles in place. Now, value capture, just to ensure we're on the same page, is simply volume, meaning the amount of units that were sold multiplied by price, okay, which is obviously the price you charge your customers. Of course, resource economics, when I refer to resource consumption, is going to be a function of resource requirements, meaning the amount of resources that were required or needed in order to produce your output or your good or service, multiplied by input costs, which is of course how much you paid for the resource. And this is just kind of like an overview of what I was just referring to. Volume tells us how much a company sells. Price slash mix tells us the average that the company is going to realize from what it sells. Okay, from a pricing or monetary perspective. Resource requirements is simply how much the company or how much is required to produce the economic good or service. And of course, input cost is how much it costs. Okay, so resource requirement is the quantity, and of course, the cost is the dollar amount. Okay, how much does it cost to purchase or obtain that resource? The main takeaway from this video is the fact that companies have only two levers at their disposal to improve the economics of the business. Okay, or to increase its economic surplus. Companies can either capture more value from their customers or they can use their resources better. Every kind of method or example we go through within this course is going to be a subcategory of these two high-level categories, okay? So I just wanted to put this foundation in place because we're going to build upon it, okay? Now, what I'd like you to do is I want you to think about the company that you work for or the company that you happen to own and answer the following questions. What drives the value your company captures? What are the major resources your company consumes? And where could that relationship improve? Okay. Now, if you like this kind of stuff, definitely consider subscribing, comment if you have questions, and stay tuned. Thank you.